Hello and welcome, friends, to another episode of Vintage Fountain Pens. Today, I have for you a classic German design of the 1950s, and this time I have this beautiful fountain pen. It is named Artus, as you can see, imprinted on the barrel, and on the clip, you can see Artus. This fountain pen, as I told you, it is a classic design of the 1950s. It has this beautiful light blue color, and the design, this classic design of the 50s, in a form of cigar with this domed ending of the cap, and with these beautiful gold trims. When I say it is a classic design of the 1950s, I mean that we have a piston filler, we have an ink window, we have an open nib. So, first of all, the cap unscrews and it reveals the ink window. I had some water, I cleaned the barrel. It ends in this grip section. It ends quite in this concave form. It has this beautiful open nib, and we have imprinted Artus 14K 5H5 and 2. The end of the nib has this ebonite feed. This is slightly uncentered, but I think that I could bring it to the right position. The most interesting characteristics of the design of the 1950s fountain pens, German fountain pens, especially German fountain pens, it has this ending. It has this fake cap practically, and it reveals the piston. And I will turn the piston, and as you can see, the end of the piston has this plastic cork. Okay, now I screw back in the piston, and this is the fountain pen. On the back, imprinted on the fake cap, we have 22 B and EF extra fine. The nib is extra fine. So we are speaking about a German product of the 1950s. And I also have with me another German product of the 1950s in this original box with paper, Luxor, also with a gold nib, a 14 karat gold nib. And interesting, here we have a black pen, the same shape of a torpedo, of a cigar, gold plated trims, the open window, the opened nib, a beautiful gold nib, imprinted with the Luxor and 14 karat. And even this model has a blind cap that simply operates this piston. I will leave the Luxor side by side with the Artus fountain pen. I also prepared for you a Mont Blanc 254, also from the 1950s. The same piston. This time we don't have a blind cap but an integrated piston system. And speaking of beautiful Mont Blancs, this is a Mont Blanc masterpiece 146 from 1952, again with an integrated piston filling mechanism. I have also in its etui from 1950s this beautiful Mont Blanc Monte Rosa, 042G with a gold nib. And I also have the Pelican. This is a Pelican from the 1940s. I also have another Pelican from the 1950s, Pelican 120. Again, the transparent ink window, opened nib, end of the grip section in this concave form, and also an integrated piston. Okay, I will leave this here. I have another product from the 1950s, and this time it is a LAMY fountain pen. You can see LAMY made in Germany. Made in Germany tells us that this was a model intended for export. It has this cap, it has the same ending of the grip part, and of course we have another blind cap and the ink window. I have prepared for you also a model from the Caveco, and I know the date in which was sold this model. It was sold in 1961, and it came also in this cigar shape, this classical shape form. But this time we have a model V3, and V stands for a semi-hooded or hooded nib. Obviously, it was influenced by the famous Parker 51. And I also have for you a model fountain pen, but this particular model is an Pelican Sovereign M800 from the year 1987 or 1988, the only years when Pelican produced the M800 with a 14 karat 585 nib. I will show them to you side by side. You can see that our fountain pen is a medium fountain pen in a beautiful, beautiful and rare blue color. You know that the Germans preferred the classic Schwarz fountain pens, so simple black fountain pens with gold trims, like is this example of the beautiful Mont Blanc Meisterstück 146. For this fountain pen, because it has a light blue color, I thought I will fill it with the turquoise ink. And meantime, I will leave the dimensions of this Artus 22B on the screen, and I will fill it up with ink, and then we will be ready for the writing sample. Okay, so remember, this is a piston filler. The same principles apply as when you fill a normal fountain pen with ink, but this time we'll have a more elegant process. So I will zip it once, and for me it is sufficient. I don't want to contaminate my beautiful ink with other inks. Let's see for a minute if it writes. Yes, it writes, and it writes quite nice. Remember to close securely with the cap any ink bottle you have on your office to avoid accidents. Let's unscrew back the fake cap. Let's see if it posts. Yes, it posts quite securely, but I prefer to use it like this. So now I am ready for the writing sample, and I have an Artus German let's say pen collector, Okay, this is a beautiful, beautiful fountain pen, and my belief is it was found in the 1950s and made in Stalin. I have a beautiful 14 karat 585 gold nib. Let's see how juicy it is. Quite a juicy fountain pen nib. Let's check out the variation line variations. I can't say we have flex, no flex. Okay, no flex. As you can see, a beautiful, beautiful fountain pen. It writes like a dream in EF. If you in EF, so it is quite a nice fountain pen. So this was my review of another classic German beauty from the 1950s. This is the Artus 22B. As an interesting detail, it has also marking S or 5 equals V point T. I don't know. I simply know that in front of me is an Artus German fountain pen product. Thank you for your time. As always, I wish you to have a nice day and bye bye.